Boom. In this episode, we're going to go over identifying the lock type, examine the keyway shape, check the brand and model, count the pins, look for signs of security pins, check the condition of the lock, determine the best tensioning method, and predict the picking strategy. So, picking starts before a pick ever even touches the lock. Researching the lock helps you predict behaviors, pin types, difficulty of how the pick's going to be, or difficulty of the lock, and a binding order. And the bottom line, this saves you time and frustrations. So before you even pick up a pick and attack a lock, you should already know how this lock wants to be opened. So the first thing you want to do is identify what type of lock you're working with. There's many different types. There's pin tumblers, there's lever locks, there's disc detainer locks, tubular locks, cruciform locks. However, in this series, we're focusing primarily on the pin tumbler style of lock. So the next thing you want to do is examine the keyway shape. You're looking for wide versus narrow. Here's an example of a very wide keyway. Here's an example of a very narrow keyway. That'll give you some indication of some of the challenges you're going to encounter. Another thing you want to look for is what they call a paracentric versus open keyway. So like on this keyway, you see that the warding, so in the keyway there are these little juts of metal that come out. That's called warding. And a paracentric keyway is when the warding passes the vertical center line of the keyway. And they do that, and it's designed to make it more difficult to pick. The keyway is the first clue of how the lock wants to be open. What the keyway tells you is how you're going to have to approach this lock with the type of pick, the amount of pick access that you're going to have, the pick angle, and the type of tension wrench that you're going to have to use in order to be successful picking a lock like this. Next, you're going to want to look specifically on the brand and the model. You can go to packaging like this. Here it says 6-pin cylinder. This is a Yale. So you can do research on that make and model of lock. And there's usually information online about typically how many security pins are in, or the security features in that lock. So the brand tells you kind of what you're up against before you even start. Next, you want to count the pins. Before you even touch the lock, you get a pin count from literature or online or from the manufacturer. Like a lock like here, you can just count the pins here. There's a 5-pin. What a pin count does is it kind of gives you an idea of how long that lock could take to pick. All right, next you want to look for signs of security pins. And okay, we can't open the lock, but on higher end locks that have paracentric keyways, that lock manufacturer is interested in security, and the chances of them having security pins are very high. All right, next you want to check the condition of the lock. Is it a newer lock? Is it an older lock? Has that lock been out in the weather? Is it clean? Is it dirty? Worn locks often give better feedback. A new lock right out of the packaging is typically more difficult to pick than an older lock. Okay, next we want to determine the best tensioning method, and that it depends on the keyway. So there's top of the keyway, which is typically referred to as the end of the keyway that has the pins on it, and there's bottom of the keyway, the end of the keyway that doesn't have the pins. The way that's determined is if you have enough access with the pick. Okay, so what I mean by that is if I stick this in here, I just don't have a lot of access for a pick in here now. But if I flip this over and use top of the keyway, all of a sudden I have all this room here for activities. So you take all of that information and you come up with a strategy. You create your picking strategy, and that picking strategy includes how much tension you're going to use, whether you're going to tension from the top of the keyway, from the bottom of the keyway, what type of tensioning tool will work for that lock, whether expect security pins or not, how many security pins, how many pins are in the lock, whether to start from the front of the keyway or the back of the keyway with higher pin counts, meaning when the pin is set, it'll be protruding deeper into the keyway. Typically, if you can, you want to start from the back, depending on if you're able to get a binding order that allows that. Because once the pin is set, if it's really high in the keyway, as you work deeper into that keyway, the chance of oversetting one of those higher pin cuts accidentally increases because there's more pin in the keyway. So you take all that information that you observed just by looking at the lock, doing a little bit of research online, maybe a couple books, maybe looking at the packaging, and you come up with a strategy and you implement that strategy. So let's take everything we talked about and demonstrate it. Okay, identifying the lock. Okay, this is a T-lock. I know it's a medium security padlock. It is a pin tumbler. It has a paracentric keyway, so this lock manufacturer is interested in security. There's high security warding, not terrible, but it is going to be a little challenging to pick, and I'm going to have to select the right picks and picking tools to use. Pick access isn't terrible, but it may be a little challenging, and the pick angle may be affected by this warding right here, so I'll have to be careful in the picking tool that I use. Tension wrench placement. Okay, I'm going to probably start at the bottom of the keyway, and the reason for that is on pin 1 I see a key pin and a driver pin, so I know how far that pin needs to be depressed. So this particular brand and model has, because I looked it up on their website, it has 5 pins, and I can expect anywhere from 3 to 5 security pins in this 50 millimeter T-lock. Spring tension is going to be fairly low. So my picking strategy is going to be put tension on the bottom of the keyway and start from the front. See if I can set pin 1. After I set pin 1, I'll move my tension from bottom of the keyway to the top of the keyway, and then go from the back of the keyway to the front in a picking order. If my binding sequence and the binding order allows that. And that's going to be my picking strategy. So to summarize, picking is easier when you know what you're dealing with. All right. When you conduct the research, it absolutely reduces the guesswork. And if you conduct these steps every time you pick up a lock to pick it, you're going to have greater success in your lock picking journey. So now that you know how to read a lock, part 3 covers the essential tools and setup you'll need before picking your first pin. And that's all I have today. Please like and subscribe. Thank you very much.